You know what happens when an entire generation is raised to believe they are the chosen ones, only to wake up in an economy that treats them like spare parts? You get a psychological experiment running in real time. And for the people born between 1981 and 1996, nobody ever handed them a consent form. I am talking about millennials. And if you feel exhausted, it's not because you're aging. It's because you are living with a cognitive glitch that no other generation has ever had to process. You are the first group in modern history to be statistically worse off than your parents, while being the most educated group to ever walk the earth. The first psychological weight you carry is what I call the Great Expectation Gap. You grew up in the 90s, an era of extreme optimism. You were told that if you followed the map, went to university, took on the debt, and worked hard, the treasure was guaranteed. But when you arrived at the destination, the treasure chest was empty. The participation trophy you were mocked for receiving turned into a master's degree that costs more than a house did in 1980. This creates a state of chronic cognitive dissonance. You hold two opposing beliefs in your head every day. I am high achieving and capable versus I am failing to survive. This whiplash creates a unique neurosis where you treat your career like a trauma response, but you mask it with a perfectly curated profile. This leads to the second phenomenon, the performance paradox. You are the first generation that had to learn how to be an adult while simultaneously performing that adulthood for an audience that doesn't even care. You are essentially running a 24/7 PR campaign for your own life, but you don't have the budget to sustain it. You feel stuck in what psychologists call suspended adulthood. You want the marriage, the house, the kids, but your waiting room for this life is a studio apartment that costs $2,000 a month. You aren't delaying these milestones because you want to. You are delaying them because the entry fee keeps doubling. This creates allostatic load, a biological wear and tear on your body from constantly preparing for a future that never arrives. You are living in a state of permanent buffering. And let's talk about the criticism you face regarding loyalty. Older generations call you job hoppers. Psychology calls you adaptively resilient. You didn't kill the concept of company loyalty. The death of the pension killed it. You are simply applying critical thinking to a system that was never designed to be questioned. You realized early on that in a gig economy, loyalty is a luxury you cannot afford. You are not entitled. You are rational. Finally, you are dealing with schema disruption. This happens when your core belief about how the world works is shattered. You were taught that the world was fair. You still want it to be fair, but you no longer believe it will be. This explains why you are simultaneously the most idealistic generation and the most cynical. You are trying to save a planet that feels like it's already burning, while trying to pay off debt for a degree you barely use. So, if you feel a sense of existential dread served with a side of helplessness, understand that this is a normal reaction to an abnormal situation. You are responding exactly how a human being responds when the ground shifts beneath their feet. The map you were given in childhood no longer matches the territory you are walking on today. You aren't broken. You are just the first ones to realize the game is rigged. If you are ready to stop apologizing for surviving